Welcome back, friends. This is Velma from Leaders Pathway, where leaders go to grow and high achievers like you come to breathe again. Well, we're right in the middle of our Escape Burnout and Reclaim Your Life series. And I just want to give a shout out to one of my listeners who actually sent this whole Burnout series suggestion in. So thank you so much. You know who you are. Now, if you're new here, you might want to go back and listen to the last two episodes. Number 1 was around prioritize what matters, and number 2 is protect your energy. Because today we are diving into the third shift in our series to escape burnout and reclaim your life, and that shift is lead from your values. So here's the truth bomb I'm dropping early on for you. If your life doesn't match your values, your wins will feel like losses. I guess I should drop the mic. Bam! If your life doesn't match your values, your wins will feel like losses. Now, before we dive into Harold's next move, yes, our high-performing executive is back. He's still tired, still driven, and still looking for clarity. I've got something that could give you the clarity that he's after. So if you want to finally feel aligned and figure out what actually drives you or even what drains you, then go ahead and email me at velma@velmaknowles.com and put values in the subject line. And I'll send you the values assessment I use with all my executive clients. No fluff, no judgment, and yes, no cost to you. I'll go ahead and drop that into the show notes as well. Well, all right, let's talk about why winning feels so empty. Remember Harold? He has the corner office, the boardroom wins, the title, the income. He even has the calendar that's packed with those back-to-back meetings and a color-coded schedule. Boom. But something was off with Harold. Even with all the wins, it felt like he was losing himself. I remember the day Harold sat across from me on a coaching call. We were on Zoom. He had his blazer still on, like he was ready to sprint back into a board meeting. But he wasn't fooling anyone, not even himself. See, his words said that he was fine, but Harold's eyes were tired. His voice was flat, and his energy was gone. And so I asked him the question that usually stops even the most seasoned leaders in their tracks. And here's that question. What matters most to you right now? What was Harold's response? Here's how Harold responded. Yep, silence. He didn't know what to say, and then he gave this nervous laugh, and he said, well, besides getting some sleep, that's important. That's what matters most to me right now. Well, as we kept talking, something cracked open. It wasn't the workload, and it wasn't the meetings, and it wasn't even the pressure to perform. It was this. Harold came to this point, and maybe you're there too. And Harold said this statement. He says, I don't even know if what I'm chasing still matters to me. So let me ask you, do you know if what you're chasing still matters to you? That's the quiet ache underneath so much of the burnout I see. See, you're checking boxes, you're hitting goals, and you're delivering results, and that's all good. But inside, you feel hollow. This is not a time management problem, my friend. It's a values misalignment problem. See, when your daily life doesn't match your deepest drivers, it wears you down in ways no vacation or Friday night can actually fix. You start living by obligation and not intention. You show up to perform, but not to connect. And the scariest part, my friend, is you forget what it feels like to be fully you. See, I don't just understand this. I've lived it. I've worn the mask. I've pushed through the pressure. I lost myself in performance. So if this hits close to home, know this. You're not alone, and you don't have to stay stuck there. See, just like Harold, I spent 15 years chasing everyone else's idea of success. The you shoulds, the you musts, the if you want to be taken seriously, then, check, check, check. But somewhere along the way, just like Harold, I checked out too. And now I lead with my values. And Harold does too, and you can too. See, when you lead from your values, everything shifts. You stop surviving and you start choosing. When Harold got clear on his values, not the ones handed to him by his title or his company or even his family, but his own values, he didn't quit his job, didn't sell it all and move to Bali, although that sounds nice, doesn't it? Harold simply made new decisions with clarity. He stopped leading by default and he started leading on purpose by design. Now, I know what you're thinking. Values? Really, Velma? Well, let me let you in on a secret that most high-performing leaders miss. And I missed this early in my career, too. Values aren't soft. They're strong. They're not fluffy. They're foundational. Your values are your internal GPS, and when you ignore them too long, then suddenly you're successful, but you're lost. Pulled in 100 different directions, pleasing everyone, burned out bitter, and too exhausted to care anymore. Pleasing everyone except yourself. But when you lead from your values, you create alignment. And alignment feels like breathing fresh air after being underwater. Research backs it up. There was a landmark study by the Harvard Business Review, and it found that leaders who are clear on their values report higher engagement, stronger team trust, and significantly lower burnout rates. And yet, sadly, most executives I coach can't name their top 3 values without hesitation. So how do you lead with your values when you're not even sure what they are anymore? Well, let's find out. Let's walk with Harold as he discovers why being successful isn't the same as feeling fulfilled. Here's what Harold did to get out of burnout and back into alignment. Number 1, he took the values assessment. Yes, the same one I'm offering you. It was like holding up a mirror. He said he could finally see what mattered most to him and where he had betrayed those priorities in his life to chase applauses. Number 2, he aligned his calendar to his values. You see, this meant saying no to the constant yeses. No to what looked successful, but actually felt soul-draining. And he said yes to what matched his principles, even if it wasn't flashy. And number 3, Harold rewrote his definition of success. Harold went from thinking, I made partner, to I'm present for my daughter's softball game. He went from I run the board to I run my life with purpose. So let me ask you, do you know your values? Have you defined them? And are you living someone else's life? Or have you defined them and are you living your life? Because until you name them, claim them and aim them, your decisions will always be in conflict. And burnout, my friend, burnout loves to breed confusion. So that's why I'm giving you this. Email me at velma@velmaknowles.com, put values in the subject line, and I'll send you my values assessment, the same one Harold used to reclaim his life. No pressure, no spam, no money, just clarity for you. Well, that's it for today. And when you're ready to live with direction and peace, not pressure and performance, start by living from your values. Because values aren't soft and silly. They're strong and sacred. They hold you steady when everything around you is spinning out of control. On our next episode, we're going to go deeper. Yep, we're going to talk about why burnout actually happens. And here's the spoiler alert. It's not just about boundaries. It's something much sneakier than that. So don't miss it. Subscribe. And do me a quick favor. Share this with a fellow leader who needs it. And in the meantime, lead with your values. Because a leader without values can't engage anyone. And that, my friend, is how you become the most valuable leader in the room. My name is Velma. God